Welcome back, episode 19 of this series of 24. Ask, the key to a better life. And today, we're going to talk about the Motivations Toolbox, or improving your IQ. So now that you're practicing these intentional questions every morning and every night, you're going to find out that asking different questions becomes easier. And that intentionally asking questions that help move you one direction or another almost becomes second nature. But I wanted to give you some toolbox of questions to help you with different situations, things that are going to come up from time to time, so that you get an idea of how this works. So I'm just going to go through a few of them and pick out some here or there that you might get the idea of how this is going to work and improve your life. So let's take some emotions that you might be feeling throughout the day that are not serving you, that are not helping you get towards living a better life and getting you towards your goals and dreams. So say being depressed or a little blue. We all have off days, right? We all wake up sometimes, it's cloudy outside, weather's cold, whatever, and yeah, we're not feeling so great. Kind of down, things aren't going well, whatever. What's a question or two that you could ask to help get you past that? What memory do I have in my past that was a time when I was passionate and excited? Like, I don't feel really good right now, but in my past, what's something what do I remember when I was really passionate and excited? And you start thinking about the answers to those questions. And again, the secret is feeling the answers. So you start feeling passionate and excited again. Or here's another one. If I could focus on one thing to make me happy for the next hour, not the whole day, not whatever, for the next hour, or next 5 minutes, or next 10 minutes, if I could focus on one thing that would make me happy, what would it be? What about if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, right? We all have so much going on in our lives. What if you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed? How about this? If I was not worrying about this, what could I think of in my life that I would be happy about? If I wasn't worrying about this thing that I'm really worried about right now, what one thing in my life could I think about that would make me happy? It's just a different question. What is one thing I could do right now to help alleviate the stress or worry that I'm feeling? It sounds like such a simple question. What's one thing I could do? Well, I could stop worrying. But no, what's one thing I could do right now? I could go pet my dog. I could go for a walk. I could do jumping jacks. I could sing a song. I could listen to music. There's so many things you can think of. But when you're focused on the stress and the worry, those thoughts don't even come into your brain. You change the question that you ask, and all of a sudden these become possibilities. And when you do that, you cause that chain reaction. And the next thing you do, you're taking action that's getting you towards your goal. Angry, right? We all get angry sometimes. And anger is one of those emotions that never really serves us. So here's some questions. What would it take for me to let go of my charged emotion, that anger emotion, and not let this bother me, apart from getting my way or whatever the situation is? What's something I could do? What's the most important thing in my life right now? You know, when you're angry, especially at a person or a situation, sometimes reframing that focus and saying, what's the most important thing in my life right now? And is this issue worth keeping me from being focused on that? So if you focus on the thing that's most important to you, chances are that anger will go away. What if you're lonely? What if your significant other is gone, or you're single and you're tired of being lonely, or it's just one of those days where you're feeling kind of left out and alone? What happens when you're lonely? What can I do to become the type of person, or improve myself, so that the person I want to attract would want to meet me? See, sometimes just by taking action, we get rid of that feeling of loneliness, and doing something that would make us that kind of person is a great way to spend our time. How about this? How can I learn to be okay with being alone without giving up my desire to be with someone, or without settling for never finding someone? What if you're frightened? Fear is a big emotion that we all feel. So one of the questions I like to ask when people say, well, what do I do if I'm afraid? Is ask them, when was a time that you felt powerful? When was a time that you felt empowered? Because fear is that emotion that happens when we feel a loss of control and that we're unsure of what's going to happen, and this uncertainty and this sort of I'm not in charge is what gives us that fear. But if we think about when we were powerful and empowered, all of a sudden fear starts to lose its grip. When do I feel most secure and safe? And how can I feel that? How did I feel when I felt that way? How can I feel that way now? So think about a time when you felt really secure and really safe. What did that feel like? And how can you resurrect that feeling right now? And then here's a good one. What would I say to help someone else if they were feeling this way? Sometimes that change of perspective and saying, well, how would I help this person get past their fear, will all of a sudden help you get past yours. Negativity and self-doubt. We all have self-doubt. It happens to everyone. I don't care who they are. If they tell you they never have self-doubt, they're not being truthful. We all get negative about ourselves. We all question things from time to time. Who are the most positive people I know, and how would they look at this situation? Again, thinking about what someone else might do might give you perspective that you need. What if I really can change the way I'm thinking about this, and by doing so, I can change the outcome? How great would that be? Again, thinking about what that would look like will change the way you feel. And again, finally, what if just because something happened in the past does not mean it's going to happen this time? Because sometimes self-doubt is about what we think is going to happen, and that's not always the case. There are a lot more, and I wrote some of these in my book to try to give you an example of all of the different things that you can use intentional questions for in your life. It's not just morning and evening questions. That's the way to start training your brain, but really changing your IQ, giving you this motivations toolbox of questions you can ask is just an example. You can write your own list of questions. Keep a little journal, put them in your phone. Find a way that you can just refer to things or carry the quips cards around with you and just ask these questions when you need them. When you feel a feeling that is less than helpful, that is not taking you towards your dream, think about the kind of questions that apply to that feeling and ask intentional questions. When you change the questions and you change that conversation in your brain, your thoughts change, your focus change, your actions change, and boom, you are now moving back towards your dreams. It is that simple. I promise you, it works. But it takes effort and it takes time. So that's what the motivations toolbox is all about. That's what intentional questioning is all about. And next, we're going to wrap this whole thing up on this last session for this series of 24. I'll see you then.